Did anyone think Elon Musk buying Twitter was going to be a good idea? Even Elon Musk himself tried to pull out of the checkout line for months before he was forced to pay up. And fixing free speech is one thing, but I don't think a meme-loving billionaire entrepreneur would be the saving grace that the internet has been waiting for. You gotta hand it to him though, somehow he found a way to make the dumpster fire of Twitter an even bigger dumpster fire. Listen, I remember when social media was the biggest thing, sending homework answers and memes, spamming chainmail to traumatize your fellow classmates. Good times. But after defining an entire generation of chronically online losers like myself, it turns out giving online corporations unrestricted access to users might actually be a bad idea. Remember when people used Facebook and RIP MySpace to actually make friends and talk to people? Now I get more Wish ads for fake teeth than posts from my actual friends. I mean, what the hell is this? Is this fake or real? And now that I've clicked on this post, I'm just going to get even more stupid ads. Advertising has ruined the internet, and I don't understand why people think they're an acceptable substitute for free services. It's because I can use this for free instead. Yeah, because you're the product. They're selling you to advertisers for money. And that's not even the worst thing about social media. If you haven't realized yet, the world is kind of ending. If we somehow don't destroy each other in a nuclear wasteland, we'd probably strangle each other to death over an internet forum anyway. And here's the thing. Most people don't like confrontation. We love talking about drama, but we would still rather stick our heads in the sand than face the problem head on. And in the same way, people don't interact with content they disagree with online. We stay in the same social circles and interests or political groups and just rotate the same opinions around until we are so sure that we are right. Nothing would ever convince us otherwise. And then you can live in a comfortable little bubble where your thoughts and opinions are never challenged. These algorithms don't make it any harder either. Watch one video, here's 10 others to confirm your bias as well. And by that point, it's a little too late for people to be touching grass, because God forbid you share that grass with someone who slightly disagrees with you. Maybe Elon Musk intentionally bought Twitter to burn it to the ground. Maybe he is a genius after all. Yeah, I don't know about that. On the other side, Meta recently announced that Facebook has also been steadily losing a significant amount of its younger audience to newer platforms like TikTok, leading to a market value loss in the billions. Now, Twitter's demise might very well be attributed to a billionaire hostile's takeover, but traditional social media has been on the decline for years now. So how does social media get better in the next generation of the internet? How does it grow beyond the data surveillance, privacy issues, conspiracy, and biased news of the social media feed? You might have heard of Mastodon recently after the mass exodus of Twitter users taking refuge from, well, Twitter. Currently, there are over 2 million active users monthly and over 7 million users total. It works very similar to Twitter. It's a micro-blogging platform with a newsfeed for people to post short updates. It also has trending topics and hashtags and a community-focused reporting system to remove offensive content. Now, what makes Mastodon so unique, besides its Elon Musk free status, is that it operates around open source servers that allows people to create their own servers. Essentially, open source is important because it allows users to interact with the software code itself, and in the process create their own network circles with their own codes of conduct, privacy policies, moderation, and terms of service. Because of this, Mastodon acts more like a federation of independent networks rather than one giant business-owned platform. And at the moment, the service runs ad-free courtesy of crowdfunding from its sponsors. This idea of decentralizing social networks is also a really pertinent theme with other platforms like Scuttlebutt. You can think of Scuttlebutt more like Facebook functionally, at least. You can connect with friends and post updates about your life. But the key difference being Scuttlebutt's peer-to-peer network means there is no centralized means of storing data. Information is shared between your friends' computers, and all your data is stored locally on your devices. It's worth noting that, like Mastodon, Scuttlebutt itself is not a single service, but rather a series of protocols that can help you and your friends build your own servers to share information. Alternatively, we might look at more mainstream platforms like BeReal and the more veteran Snapchat, who have been at the forefront of authentic social media. Unlike Facebook or Twitter, you're much more likely to get shitposts about the real daily lives of your friends. BeReal honestly has quite a cool concept. Basically, every day at a random time, you'll be sent a notification, and you'll get a few minutes to post whatever you're doing at that exact point in time. There's no scheduling or fake planning, there's no fancy filters, just true, unfiltered representation of what your life is like. It also helps that BeReal encourages active participation, since you're supposed to share your own day first before seeing what everyone else is up to. So, to evaluate, There are a few key points around the future of social media. The first is authenticity. Everyone is sick of seeing people's highlight reels. I don't want to log into Instagram to see my friends from high school getting married and becoming millionaires and swimming. We want real and authentic connections within our social circles. And if that includes candid shots of people living their most mundane, their most boring, maybe even their lowest points in the day, then so be it. We want real. The second point is open source. Seems like trust is running low in the tech industry, and you can never trust what data is being collected about you and who's using what for why. We should have a right to our own data and to know what they're being used for. And one of the best ways to self-regulate is by being upfront about the software. Having the code openly available to its user base on a platform like, say, GitHub allows you community support to improve and check for bugs, but it also lets people make sure that the program they are running is not malicious or open to flaws in the system. And finally, decentralization. Monopolies are bad, I know, right? Surprise. When they control a significant share of the market, they get less focused on competition, which means they focus less on their audience and more on their own profit. And what happens when a corporation has complete and unrivaled access to an entire industry? They get lazy, their products get sloppy, and the services get more expensive. You'll see this in businesses like Apple or Disney, but free platforms like Meta are no different. Facebook and Instagram have gotten real comfortable with overstimulating their users with ads to offset the loss in audience. And they've gotten more devious with changing the algorithms, frustrating the UI, and putting brand first before the individual. Over the years, they have faced many threats before, like Snapchat stories, like Twitch streaming, or even TikTok shorts. But Meta continues to push through with their own store-bought versions of them in order to stay out on top. Make fun all you want, but Zuckerberg knows that if he wants to stay ahead of the game this time, gambling all in on the metaverse might actually be his only option. So unless you want to live in a Facebook-owned Sword Art Online, you better start looking at decentralizing your social network. A few months ago, I wrote a Medium article on why I don't want to add you on social media. Having detached myself from the social media feed, I feel a lot more free to ruminate on my own shortcomings instead of getting fed up by social media infographics. I swear some of you have the most nonsensical political opinions ever. I don't think you're a trustworthy source. Honestly though, it has been a real change to not have social media at all, and it's been a lot harder to keep in contact with the friends and family that, well, the ones that I have left anyway. I couldn't justify staying on these platforms anymore after the negatives significantly outweighed the benefits. But the future is hopeful. As more and more users begin migrating from these sites to newer platforms, users are being more upfront about a more authentic, more decentralized, and more private internet. And for all the shit that I like giving NFTs and crypto, the underlying philosophy around Web 3.0 centers around data ownership and decentralization. And why shouldn't we be promoting individual rights of the users? Okay, maybe not the crypto scams and NFT pyramid schemes, but hey, the potential for good is definitely there, somewhere. Inevitably, many of these platforms like BeReal or Mastodon will eventually face the same problems that many older platforms have dealt with. Even ignoring the fact that these new startups still lack the audience space necessary for social networking, these companies will also have to deal with the data privacy issues, content regulation, and profit generation of traditional social media platforms. And without a clear goal on how to tackle these issues, they become easily susceptible to the same problems that face Meta or Twitter. So yeah, what do you guys think about social media? Do you think it is a great opportunity to network with friends? Or do you think it is slowly tearing the world from the inside out? Let me know in the comments below. Generally, this is the part where I would say, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't really have that right now. Anyway, that's all from me today. I'll see you guys when I post next, which is probably in 4 years. Okay, cool, bye.